Hello friends, myself Dr. Nandakumar Raubawale from College of Engineering Ambazobe is going to deal with Applied Thermodynamics 1. This is our 29th lecture on Applied Thermodynamics 1. In previous lecture we have discussed about the gas power cycles, Brayton cycle and Stirling cycle we have discussed. Now today we will discuss some numericals on these gas power cycles. So today we will be discussing about the numerical on Carnot gas power cycle. So this is one of the problem on Carnot cycle. The maximum pressure and temperature in a Carnot cycle is limited to 20 bar and 400 degrees Celsius. So highest temperature and highest pressure is given as 400 degrees Celsius temperature and 20 bar pressure. The ratio of isentropic compression is 6. Isentropic compression ratio is 6, whereas isothermal expansion ratio is 1.5. Assuming volume of air at the beginning of isothermal expansion is 0.2 meter cube. Find following: change in entropy during isothermal expansion and compression, whereas thermal efficiency of cycle and theoretical power if there are 200 working cycles per minute. Now let us see how he explains this problem. So here very first he says that the maximum temperature and pressure in the Carnot cycle is 20 bar and 400 degrees Celsius. So maximum temperature and pressure, so 0.3. At this point 3 we assume that P3 is the pressure and T3 is the temperature. So T3 is the temperature at 0.3, so at state 3, which is maximum, and we call this as 400 degrees Celsius, and pressure is 20 bar. So temperature T3 is 400 degrees Celsius and pressure P3 is 20 bar. Now next thing what is given in this problem is the ratio of isentropic compression is 6. Isentropic compression, so compression is taking place from 0.2 to 3. Isentropic compression, the compression ratio, that is V2 is the volume at 0.2 and V3 is volume at 0.3. So V2 divided by V3 is known as compression ratio, isentropic compression ratio, and which is given in this problem as 6. So this isentropic compression ratio is 6. Then the expansion is isothermal expansion is 1.5. So isothermal expansion, if we see, expansion starts from 0.3 to 4, which is isothermal. So this ratio of V4 divided by V3 is known as isothermal expansion ratio, and which is given as 1.5 in this problem. So V4 divided by V3 is known as isothermal expansion ratio, and which is given by 1.5. Whereas the volume of air at the beginning of isothermal expansion is 0.2 meter cube. So the beginning of isothermal expansion means 3. So volume at 0.3, V3 is given as 0.2 meter cube. Then he is asking us to find out change in entropy during isothermal expansion and compression, thermal efficiency of cycle, and theoretical power if there are 200 working cycles per minute. So this data, whatever is given, that we will collect into the table. So highest pressure is given 20 bar, and then temperature between process 1 to 2. 1 to 2 is isothermal compression process, T1 is equal to T2, because isothermal compression process or isothermal expansion process is temperature constant temperature process. T1 is equal to T2 we have assumed. So temperature, highest temperature is 400 degrees Celsius, in degree Celsius 400. So here temperature at 0.3 is equal to temperature at point 4 and temperature at point 1 is equal to temperature at point 2. So T3 is equal to T4. From TS diagram we can write. So here temperature, highest temperature is given in this cycle, which is 400 degrees Celsius. So here T3 is equal to T4 is equal to 400 degrees Celsius. So now V2 is equal to V3. Now V2 divided by V3 is compression ratio, which is given in the problem. Just we have written here V2 divided by V3. Isentropic compression ratio V2 divided by V3 is 6, which is given. So that we have written here. An isothermal expansion ratio V4 divided by V3. V4 divided by V3 we have written here. So this is given in the problem. So that we have written here. Then volume at the beginning of isothermal expansion. Volume at the beginning of isothermal expansion is given as 0.2 meter cube. So that we have written here. The cycles per minute is given 200. Then he is asking us to find out change in entropy during process 1 to 2. So he is asking us to find out entropy during isothermal expansion and compression. So process 1 to 2 is isothermal compression process where heat is rejected, QR. And during this process 3 to 4, it is isothermal expansion, heat is supplied to the system, QS. So he is asking to find out change in the entropy during process 1 to 2 and change in entropy during process 3 to 4. So change in entropy during process 1 to 2, isothermal compression and isothermal expansion. Then thermal efficiency of cycle and power. Then to find out this entropy is nothing but entropy is defined as the amount of heat transferred to the ratio of amount of heat transferred to the temperature at which temperature it is transferred. So during process 3 to 4, heat transfer is Q3 to 4 and divided by T3, where T3 is the temperature. Looking at this temperature is, say for example, T3 or is equal to T4 in Kelvin, degree Kelvin. So amount of heat supplied we call as a Q3 to 4. So heat transfer divided by temperature gives us change in the entropy. Change in entropy is equal to Q34 divided by T3 or T4. It is one and the same. Then to find out heat transfer during process 3 to 4, it is given by Q34 is equal to P3 V3 log to the base E V4 divided by V3. So here this is one formula which can be used to find out heat supplied. Then to find out change in entropy during process 1 to 2, during compression process 1 to 2. So if we know heat rejected and the temperature, so the ratio of heat rejected divided by the constant temperature, we can find out the change in entropy. So Q1 to 2 divided by T1. The T1 is temperature of process 1 to 2 because it is constant temperature process. So Q1 to 2 heat transfer during process 1 to 2 isothermal process is given by P2 V2 log to the base E V1 divided by V2. So now what we know and what we do not know, that we must see. So to find out change in entropy during 3 to 4, process 3 to 4, we must know P3. So P3 pressure is known. Volume V3 we must know. So volume V3 is known to us or not. So V3 is also known, which is given in the problem. So now V4 divided by V3. V4 divided by V3, this ratio is given as 1.5. So everything in this equation, heat supplied equation is known. So directly we can find out heat supplied. And once we know heat supplied, to find out change in entropy, we must find out temperature at T3. So temperature at T3 is also given. So that is 400 degrees Celsius, means 400 degrees Celsius plus 273. So 673 degree Kelvin is the temperature T3. So from this we can find out the change in entropy during process 3 to 4. So first what we have to find out is we know P3, we know V3, then we know V4 divided by V3, and also we know T3. Directly we can find out change in entropy during process 3 to 4. So coming to heat rejected or coming to change in entropy during process 1 to 2, we must know Q1 to 2 and T1. So here, if we see Q1 to 2 to find out heat transfer or heat rejected during process 1 to 2 is given by P2 V2. It is isothermal process. Heat rejected during isothermal process is given by P2 V2 log to the base E V1 divided by V2. So what we know here, V1 divided by V2, this ratio is known to us. Sorry, V1 divided by V2. V1 divided by V2 is not known. V1 divided by V2 is not known to us. So we have to find out V1 divided by V2, and then P2 we have to find out. Pressure is not known. Then volume V2 is also not known. So we have to find out V2, we have to find out P2, then we can find out Q1 to 2. So to find out T2, T1 is required, T1 is equal to T2 we know. So from PVT relations, T3 divided by T2 is equal to V2 divided by V3 to the power of gamma minus 1. From this we know T3, we know V2 divided by V3 ratio, gamma value is known, temperature T2 can be obtained, and T2 is equal to T1. So that we can substitute here. Then we need the value of P2. So to find out value of P2, P3 divided by P2 is equal to V2 divided by V3 to the power of gamma. So this is from PVT relations. So from this equation, P3 is known to us, V2 divided by V3 is known to us, gamma is known, P2 can be obtained. So once P2 is known, P2 can be substituted. So here, to find out P4, why we need P4? So that we will see. To find out P1, P4 is required. P1 is equal to P4 divided by P4 into V4 divided by V1 to the power of gamma. So we don't know V4. V4 is not known. V1 is not known. But to find out P1, V4 divided by V1 is also required, and P4 is also required. To find out P4, we can use this P4 is equal to P3 into bracket V3 divided by V4 formula, and we can find out P4. So substituting P4 here and V4 divided by V1, we can find out P1. So once we know P1, we can know the value of P1, and that can be substituted here. So P2 into V2 can also be written as P1 V1. For isothermal process, P2 V2 is equal to P1 V1. Once we know V1 divided by V2, P1 V1, then we can find out heat rejected. So sometimes this amount of heat rejected we may find by some other means also, that we will see. Then to find out thermal efficiency, we must know heat supplied and heat rejected. So if we know heat supplied and heat rejected, then we can find out thermal efficiency, and from that power is equal to heat supplied minus heat rejected is converted into work, and that work into number of cycles per minute divided by 60, that is number of cycles per second. So this is the amount of work done per cycle, Qs minus Qr, into number of cycles per minute gives us power generated. So now let us see how to simplify this problem. So very first to find out delta Qs3 to 4, so we have to find out Q34, and to find out all this, first we must know PVT values, PVT relations. First we will concentrate on PVT relations to find out, and then afterwards we will see how to solve this things which are asked to us. So now for isentropic process, isentropic process 2 to 3 isentropic compression process 2 to 3, it can be written as T3 divided by T2 is equal to V2 divided by V3 to the power of gamma minus 1. So V2 divided by V3 is known to us. Therefore, T3 divided by T2 is equal to V2 divided by V3, which is given in the problem. V2 divided by V3 is 6. So V2 divided by V3 is 6. 6 to the power of gamma value is 1.4 minus 1. So from this we can get answer as 2.05. Then after simplification we can rewrite this as T2 divided by T3, just inverting this as 1 divided by 2.05, and T2 is equal to T3 divided by 2.05. So T3 value we know, T3 is equal to 673 divided by 2.05, which is given in the problem. T3 value is given in the problem. You can see here T3 is equal to 400 degree Celsius means 673 degree Kelvin. So on simplification, temperature T2 we get as 328.29 degree Kelvin, and this is equal to T1. So temperature at point 1 is equal to temperature at point 2 because it is constant temperature process. So 1 to 2 is constant temperature process. So we can write here T1 is equal to T2 is equal to 328.29 Kelvin. So now applying this law to the process 2 to 3, PVT relations, we can write here as P3 divided by P2 is equal to V2 divided by V3 to the power of gamma. So V2 divided by V3 is again 6 to the power of 1.4, and this can be written as 12.29. Now from this we can find out value of P2. P2 by P3 is equal to 1 divided by 12.29, or else this can give us the result as P2 is equal to, taking P3 on right hand side, we get P3 divided by 12.29. So P3 we know as 20 divided by 12.29. So value of P2 on simplification we get it as 1.627 bar. Then for isothermal process 3 to 4, isothermal expansion process 3 to 4, so we can write P3V3 is equal to P4V4, whereas P4 is equal to, pressure at point 4 is equal to P3 into V3 divided by V4. So we know P3 value as 20 bar, and V3 divided by V4 is given as, V4 divided by V3 is given as 1.4, so it is reciprocal. So this can be written as 1 divided by 1.5. On simplification it gives us 13.3 bar. So we got here a P4 value. Applying isentropic process 4 to 1, we can get the pressure at 1. So P4 to P1, applying isentropic process or isentropic law, applying the isentropic law for process, to 1, we get as PVT relations. P1 is equal to P4 into V4 divided by V1 to the power of gamma. So what we know is P4 is known as 13.3 bar into V4 divided by V1 is 1 by 6 to the power of 1.4. So this on further simplification gives us 1.08 bar. We know P1 also. We know P1, we know P4, we know P3. Now to find out change in entropy during isothermal expansion process, change in entropy during isothermal process, during isothermal expansion process, so we can write this as delta S 3 to 4 as heat supplied divided by the temperature. So heat supplied is given by P3 log to the base E V4 divided by V3 whole divided by T is temperature is T3. So on simplification, P3 pressure is 20 bar, so this is to be written in Newton per meter square. 20 into 10 to the power of 5, this is important. Pressure has to be converted into Newton per meter square into V3 is 0.2 which is given in the problem, whole divided by temperature T3 is known to us, that is 673 Kelvin into log to the base E. V4 divided by V3 is given as 1.5. So on simplification, entropy change during process 3 to 4 is given as 240 joules per Kelvin or 0.24 kilojoules per Kelvin. So dividing this by 1000 we get it in kilojoules per Kelvin. Now heat supplied is given by Qs. Heat supplied is equal to P3 V3 log to the base E V4 divided by V3. This can be obtained by multiplying previous or 20 into 10 to the power of 5 into 0.2 log to the base E into 1.5. So this gives us 162 into 10 to the power of 3 joules or 162 kilojoules. So this is amount of heat supplied. So now we want to find out amount of heat rejected. Looking at this TS diagram, we can see here change in entropy during process 3 to 4 is equal to change in entropy during process 1 to 2. So now to find out heat rejected, if we know the change in entropy during process 3 to 4, delta S 3 to 4 is known, which is equal to delta S 1 to 2. And this change in entropy which we have obtained is 0.24 kilojoules, which is 0.24 kilojoules. So heat rejected we will find out afterwards. Just we will have the idea about change in entropy during process 3 to 4 is equal to change in entropy during process 1 to 2. Because these two lines are of same length, we can say S1 is equal to S4 and S2 is equal to S3. So change in entropy is same. That means the amount of heat transferred during process 1 to 2, if we know this temperature T2, then we can find out heat transfer during process 1 to 2. So already we know heat supplied during process 3 to 4. Now we can find out heat rejected. So heat rejected QR during process 1 to 2 is equal to temperature T2 into S1 minus S2. S1 minus S2 we know. So here temperature is known at 0.2, which we have obtained. Temperature T2 is 328 degree Kelvin. So 328.29. 328.29 into change in entropy during process 1 to 2 is 0.24. So this change in entropy is known. On further simplification, we get heat rejected as 78.72 kilojoules per cycle, we can say. Now we want to find out efficiency. We know heat rejected, we know heat supplied. So net work done can be obtained. So work done per cycle is equal to heat supplied minus heat rejected. So heat supplied is 162 minus 78.72 gives us the work done. .28 kilojoules is the amount of work done. So once we know work done, we can find out efficiency. The efficiency of Carnot cycle, thermal efficiency of Carnot cycle is known as QS minus QR divided by QS. QS minus QR is just we have calculated as 83.28 divided by heat supplied is 162 kilojoules divided by 162 into 100. So this gives us the efficiency of this cycle as 51.4%. So now this is how we obtained efficiency. Then power is nothing but the work done per unit time. So here QS minus QR is the work done into number of cycles per second. So QS minus QR we know, which is 83.28. Number of cycles are 200 per minute divided by 60, it will give us in second. So on simplification, this gives us as 277.6 kilowatt is the power generated.